Hey everyone, I'm Jaden,
And I'm Cam.
and we are the Super Gamer Bros, and this is the Super Gamer Bros podcast. We are just a couple of brothers who love playing games and love talking about games, so that is what we do. And everybody, we are back. Welcome to this month's edition of Super Gamer News. No matter how many people beg and plead, we will not stop doing it. We are going to talk about some of the biggest or just our favorite gaming news to occur over the last month. And today, Cam, you are going to start us off with your first news story. Go ahead, buddy.
So my first news story is a new Game of Thrones game. It is in development. The game will be set in the north due to knowing that Winterfell and the Wall will be in the game. It is set around season 4 and 5. There will be a story campaign, but it is going to be online. The player can pick their protagonist from male to female, and yeah, truly it.
All right. Cam, are you a Game of Thrones fan?
Not really. I haven't seen much of it. I
Yeah.
just know it's really. I just know it's huge. I know it's really big, so I figured this would be a bigger topic.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really a Game of Thrones fan either. I just I've watched clips. I love Peter Dinklage who plays Tyrion Lannister. I think he's just a great actor. I love watching him and stuff, so I've seen clips with him in it. I know from a few years ago the last season of the show is really bad. People were not happy with it.
Hmm.
And actually, no, I do know one more thing. Yeah, I would not call myself a fan of the show. I have not read the books, but I did actually play the Telltale Game of Thrones series that came out, I don't know how long ago.
Yeah, I will say that like I said, I don't know much about it, but I'm pretty sure though, like previous Game of Thrones games have not had like the best gameplay.
I think that's a bold statement because name one Game of Thrones game, previous Game of Thrones game.
I mean, well, it's just what I've heard. I'm
I
not
don't,
saying that.
I'm just saying I don't think there is another Game of Thrones game. I think the Telltale one is the only one.
Well, I'll look it up.
I mean, please do, because I'm legitimately curious, because that's the only one that I'm aware of.
Best Game of Thrones games via Game Rant ranked. Let's see. There's okay. They have 10 on the list. Game of Thrones Conquest.
Is that a mobile game?
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, mobile. You're right. Game of Thrones 2012. PC, PS3, Xbox 360.
Is that the
Cyanide
Telltale
Studios.
one?
Cyanide Studios. I
I've
don't
never
know. I
heard of
don't think
that.
so. A
This is
Game of Thrones Genesis by Cyanide Studio. Game of Thrones Beyond the Wall. Game of Thrones Winter is Coming, which that was iOS, PC, and Android. Game of Thrones Tale of Crows, which is iOS.
man.
Then
Uh
here he goes, Game of Thrones, the Telltale series, and then so on and so forth. But basically, you get the point though. There is other Game of
I
Thrones games.
I guess it's yeah. I well, I mean, also I played the Telltale game, and actually, I did actually like it. There was a lot I did not like about it, but I did think it was very interesting to play that game from the basis of not knowing anything that happens. Um, really, I've never related more to like the people I'm playing as when I'm just trying my best here, and I'm really failing hard because of stuff that keeps happening that I was not prepared for. Yeah, like for example, I because that the Telltale game takes place between seasons, like I think, well, during season 3, or not, I think during season, like the end of season 3 and into season 4. And my one of the characters you play as, because you play as multiple characters in this family, she is talking to and kind of making like a secret alliance of sorts with Tyrion Lannister, who is Peter Dinklage's character. And I thought, dude, this guy, Queen's brother, absolutely, I'm gonna be friends with this guy. There's nothing that can go wrong there. It went very wrong. It went very wrong for me. That was a bad thing to do. But I did legitimately enjoy the game for that reason. But overall, I'm not a big Game of Thrones fan. The fact that it's online, Cam, you have unsold this game to me. I will not be buying it.
Yeah, I had to mention it because I feel like that was my red flag for everybody. So,
Yeah. Well, I will go now with my first news story, Cam. The sales of the Xbox Series X and S continue to fall as Microsoft is releasing previously exclusive games on PlayStation. Xbox surprised many by releasing Hi-Fi Rush, Sea of Thieves, Grounded, and Pentiment to PlayStation for high-profile exclusives. Grounded actually just came out. It was one of my games to look forward to that I was looking forward to in the last Super Gamer News episode. Just came out in April. Uh, but anyway, with the low Xbox sales, it is easy to imagine why Xbox chose to do so. For example, at the time of writing, Microsoft has more games on the PlayStation Top 25 sales currently than Sony does. Though two of those games are Fallout games, which weren't like they were out on PlayStation before Microsoft bought Bethesda. So I'm like,
um,
those kind of don't count as much, but they are technically Xbox properties now. So I'm sure they are getting at least a cut of each game sold or something. Yes, Cam, what's your opinion on this?
I guess there's no way of really denying it. You know, it. I think that PlayStation's definitely on the rise, in my opinion. Now I've played PlayStation my whole life, so I'm coming in with no bias, though. Is what I'm trying to say.
Uh-huh.
Um, but I feel like a lot of times now with like just in general, like let's say the more people I meet, most of the time it's PlayStation 4 and 5, and I don't know, I haven't heard anyone playing Xbox in a while.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I think this is kind of an obvious decision for Microsoft to make because two reasons. One, console developers, I don't know if you know this, do not make money on console sales. Um, they lose money, but they make that money up in software sales, game sales, because hypothetically, you're a person, say Cam, is going to buy a PlayStation 5 once in that console's life cycle. Maybe twice if it breaks, but typically once. But Cam is going to buy a lot more than one game during that. And talk about cost of production for a large majority of those games Cam buys, Sony does not put any money into developing it. They might put money into marketing, production, distribution, but they put no money into developing that game. It's much cheaper for them, and since they own the console the game is being purchased on, they can demand quite a hefty payday from the developers. So with Xbox, putting their games on PlayStation is incredibly cheap. The game's already made, it just has to be kind of ported over, which is much cheaper than obviously making a game from scratch. And they're gonna sell, as I said, Microsoft has 4 games on PlayStation's top 25 sales. I'm assuming Hi-Fi Rush and Sea of Thieves are the two not Fallout games. And you got to think if Microsoft were to go even farther and release, say, Gears of War or Halo on PlayStation, those games would sell immensely.
Yeah, they would.
And especially Halo, which Microsoft owns. And again, all you'd have to do is cover the cost of porting it to PlayStation, which again, I don't know exactly, costs on things like that, but I imagine it's not comparatively that expensive, especially considering how much they would make on selling the games. And, I think Microsoft really bungled the Xbox One launch and announcement, and they were just never able to recover in terms of, console competition with Sony. PlayStation 5 has outsold Xbox Series X and S. I think if you're looking at straight console sales, I think the console wars as far as PlayStation versus Sony, I mean, sorry, PlayStation versus Xbox is kind of over and Xbox lost. And they could still obviously make their money back in game production and I think that's something that they're obviously have started here and I think that's kind of why they're doing it. Not that I know anything, it's just my assumption, thoughts.
Right. I don't know. I mean, I guess with Xbox, I kind of think that I mean, I think one of the reasons why Xbox had a downfall was they kind of rushed out systems. I feel like it was kind of like pretty, almost like one year after another with a new system for the Xbox. So I don't know. I
Um
think PlayStation's going to screw themselves with doing that as well.
I don't think so. I don't think that matters much. I mean, I legitimately think it's, when when Microsoft first announced the Xbox One, they very much kept kind of pushing it as they pushed it as like an all-in-one media system and not just a game system at, like a games conference. It's like, dude, I don't know who you're trying to market to now, but gamers are your main market, and you were basically saying, hey, this isn't just for you, and they're not going to like that. Yeah, I think they really bungled it. Xbox One started off on a major back foot compared to PS4. And I mean, they never recovered. And then continuing on to PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X/S, which also itself was just a very confusing and weird way to go about their new system with the Series X, Series S. I still don't necessarily understand what they were going for with that one. So, and PlayStation has just been very consistent. Hey, guess what, guys? PlayStation 4, it's getting old. New console, PlayStation 5. And that's it. Very simple and easy, which matters a lot in marketing, keeping things simple and, hey, this is what we're doing. This is the next thing. Here you go. And not getting super flowery with it, I think is where Sony kind of beat Microsoft. And I think it's over in terms of comparing straight console sales. I don't think Xbox will ever catch up to PlayStation again. Although I will say PlayStation is really trying hard to ruin it all because they keep doing things to annoy people, and I'm getting annoyed with it. Anyway,
Yeah, systems. That it's always an annoying talk. I don't know. I feel like
yeah,
the way they're going, it's like we were on an uprise, and I feel like now we're on a downfall. But
yeah,
it's what.
yeah.
Next story. Oh yeah, okay, I got you. Next story. Blizzard announces that it is skipping BlizzCon this year. Due to them canceling BlizzCon, they have a plan to showcase games differently than usual. Blizzard is trying to find different ways to showcase their games, letting us know that it was their decision and not Microsoft's via Game Informer. It's nothing too crazy. I just, I feel like I'd put it out there because I don't know. Blizzard's kind of a bigger gaming
I mean,
company.
you say it's nothing too crazy. I think this actually is like kind of a big thing. Like BlizzCon was huge. Blizzard, very popular. I mean, they've had a lot of controversy in recent years, but if you're looking historically, a very popular and beloved game company. And again, I guess I would say this is not too shocking considering the controversies they've had. I can imagine that kind of leading them to steer away from doing public stuff like this, where there would probably be like, maybe protests or something along the lines. Yeah, anyway, continue, Cam. I feel like I
Um,
interrupted you there.
no, you're good. I really got my point across. It's just more that I just like I said, yeah, I said what I had to say. I can't remember.
All right. Yeah. It's also like I feel like this is just another sign that, video game press conferences are kind of dying. E3, I think last year, maybe 2 years ago, for the first time, like they just canceled it because so many developers were backing off and just deciding they were going to have their own showcases and things. Again, something that was reported on last month, I believe, the Triple I initiative, which was a bunch of indie developers getting together to show off their games. I think, these kind of conventions, press conferences exclusively focusing on video games are kind of on the outs, really. I don't think there are really too many that still happen, especially being focused exclusively on video games.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it's sad though. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
no, I
used to
mean
love
it's the end of
E3.
an era, Noah and I, for many years, would watch every press conference as it came out. All the big E3 press conferences, all the smaller convention press conferences. We would absolutely watch those all the time, and yeah, now it's really becoming just a digital thing where instead of a conference, it's a showcase online. They might have some people in some studio somewhere talking and then showing gameplay.
Yeah, which is so annoying. It's so annoying.
I mean, it's whatever. Uh, like it's always cool, to see a bunch of game announcements and stuff like that. But yeah, it is. While I understand some of the press conferences and the dudes talking about making a game for 9 minutes and how great it is to work with whatever console maker or company to bring this new experience to the gamers can be a little, I don't know, cheesy, weird, dull, whatever word you want to use. It is kind of sad to see that's really coming to an end.
Yeah, it is. It does suck.
Anyway, we'll move on now to my second news story. Tekken 8 has been slammed with negative player reviews and backlash due to the use of microtransactions and a battle pass in the game. After a promising start, it is now looking grim, especially due to the lack of developer engagement with players. But it is not too late for Bandai Namco to turn things around.
Yikes.
Yeah, so the game started off, people loved it. The gameplay was great. Some new features were introduced that were actually very well received by the players. Hey, great guys, we did it. But Battle Pass, microtransactions, the fact that it was in the news article I read, but I assume it's maybe a previous Tekken thing. But I guess this news article, I'm assuming in previous Tekken games, you could actually play with DLC characters in practice mode. But then if you wanted to play them, online versus other people, you had to buy them. And that is not a thing in this game, and people are annoyed about that. Understandable. And again, it's just another example of I don't know why. I mean, I have to assume it's working to some degree, which is annoying because I don't know why so many developers keep god damn using microtransactions in battle passes and like this stuff, live service stuff. It's like it works for Fortnite. It works for what's another game it works for?
PUBG.
Does it work? Is PUBG still popular? I don't know. It works for Well, it used to work for Overwatch. Overwatch is kind of on the decline now. But so really, I would say hypothetically, Overwatch and Fortnite are really the only two big success stories I could think of. Other than I guess EA, their sports games, their Ultimate Teams are also very successful.
Yeah.
But
Oh, Call of Duty. Call of Duty. They have battle pass, dude. It's huge.
they do, but do people really like that? I don't know. Either
Yeah.
way, it's like these it was a huge. You cannot, it is not possible to overstate how absolutely huge of a success it was for Fortnite with their battle pass, their seasons, their live service and everything. But because it was a huge success for them, now everyone else wants to do it. And Suicide Squad was a failure. Marvel's Avengers was an utter failure. So many other games that I can't even think of at the top of my head were failures, and it's looking like Tekken 8 not looking promising. A lot of people has voiced frustrations about it, and Tekken 8, if Bandai Namco doesn't do something, people are complaining. They're dead silent about it, which is never a good sign. Cam, what do you
No,
think?
it's terrible to see. Um, I'm so tired of microtransactions. They ruin everything. They ruin every game. It just shows you how money hungry the company is, which makes them look desperate, which just makes them have a bad look, and it makes you not like the game as much. And I think it's ridiculous that a fighting game like Tekken, mind you, I'd say a very historic gaming series, and really is gaming history, and they are deciding to hop on the battle pass wave. And I mean, it doesn't even really go with what their style is. It's just really stupid. I don't know. I don't really know what they're trying to get with there, but okay.
Okay, Cam, that's all I have to say about this. I mean, I've never been a Tekken fan, but anyone who has listened to the Super Gamer Bros know I absolutely, utterly, completely despise microtransactions. They're awful. I hate them. And could tell when game developers kept doing them that it was going to be an ongoing problem. And boy, is it! I still don't think there's going to be really some satisfying solution for it anytime soon. Anyway,
No.
anyway, this is a sad news episode, Cam. We got to pick next month. Let's pick happier news. Let's try to find
Okay.
happier news. Uh,
Okay.
Cam, what is your third news story?
Well, to add on to the damage here, GTA 5 publisher canceled $140 million in new projects and laid off hundreds. Take Two Interactive states that they cut off 5% of their team to rationalize its pipeline via Kotaku, I think is how you would say that.
Just
Um,
Kotaku is probably fine.
Kotaku. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't have
Anyways,
to put the accent in there. I think that don't do
well,
that.
Well, I mean, it sounds nice though, Kotaku. You know, it's like, hey, it sounds.
Don't do
I,
that. Stop it. No, stop it. Stop doing that.
to
Stop doing that.
me, it sounds better. It sounds better. I don't care. Screw you. Anyways, yeah, no, I mean, this is wild. Not only am I guessing this is going to push the release date for GTA 6. Yeah, is it GTA 6? I don't know why I have 5.
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah, that's stupid. Did I say GTA 5 in the thing too?
You said GTA 5 earlier.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll just re-say that sentence. My bad, Jaden. Yeah, I can say that GTA 6 will definitely be probably pushed off to a later date because of this, which sucks. And it also sucks for the people that got laid off as well. It's brutal. You know, it's once again showing that more people are getting laid off, which is sad to say. I feel like almost every news episode we have like layoffs. So
I think every one but one we have talked about layoffs somewhere or multiple places. Yeah, this one is probably the most frustrating of all of them, considering that Take-Two Interactive published GTA 5. GTA 5 made like $12 billion. It made a lot of money. And like they're the publishers. They're not the developers. It certainly did not cost them as much money as it did Rockstar to make that game. For marketing and things like that, especially because it's GTA. You really don't have to market anything. People are going to buy it. And yeah, the fact that they just canceled all these games and laid off these people, especially months after saying, no, we're not laying anybody off. Like, you're telling me your company made, from reports I saw, over $6 billion on GTA 5, and you're laying off 500 people. Yeah, and especially with GTA 6 coming out soon, and that is going to make a lot of money.
yeah,
Uh,
you're right. I don't really get the mental process there.
it's
I didn't rough,
yeah,
but yeah, go ahead.
yeah. I mean, it's like you're gearing up for a GTA 6 release. I feel like that's something that you need people for. Um, because a lot of game developers, they hypothetically lay people off because, hey, we just released this game. We don't need all these jobs right now. We don't need all these people because we hired a bunch to finish the game. Game's out. Okay, we're going to lay a bunch of people off. Very common. Not great, but it's common. And that is at least like, yeah, okay, you're in like a little off break after developing a game. You don't need people. Sure, whatever. But this is like the opposite of that. Hypothetically, assuming that Take-Two is publishing GTA 6, which it is, I did not research, so it is possible they are not a great time, I feel like, to lay off a ton of people. Anyway,
Yeah,
a lot of
the
smiles all around.
oh, dude. I mean,
Um,
it's a ball.
let's talk about something that I actually think is good news. My third news story, we will end on what Jaden thinks is a bit of a good note. Well, sort of. And that is marketing is dead. Larian publishing director Michael Dowse stated in a recent PC Gamer Roundtable interview. Larian is the company that developed and published, I believe, Baldur's Gate 3, the wildly popular, wildly successful game of the year for so many people of 2023 game, Baldur's Gate 3. So this roundtable interview featured several prominent members of high-profile gaming companies such as Arian Jonsdottir, VP of Publishing at CCP, the developer of EVE Online, and Warframe creative director Rebecca Ford. The group discussed the evolving world of game marketing, as ads and PR and such don't really work anymore with gamers. Michael Dowse said it himself, and I very much understand and kind of agreed with what he said, which is marketing and ads and things like this, like, don't really work anymore because everything is online now. And developers are so readily reachable by the gaming community that it's like unnecessary. All you have to do is just post, a video game trailer on YouTube, and that's it. And he said gamers, like, they don't want this flowery stuff. This kind of goes in line with what Cam said when we were talking about the whole BlizzCon thing. Gamers don't want this flowery stuff. They just want to know what the game looks like, what it's going to play like, and when they're getting it. And I could completely relate to and understand that mindset because I completely agree with that. How many times have you played games where the trailers, the game didn't look like the trailers, the story was different, whatever. The gameplay just was not, had missing things, whatever. Yeah, look at No Man's Sky with all the things just completely missing from that media blitz they had. And it's like gamers are sick of that. They just want to know the simple things, and they want to, as he said, they want to have kind of an involvement in the process, which I think is something very cool that video games can do that no other medium can. Is with, say, early release, early access, which I personally am not a fan of early access. I've seen too many horror stories of early access games never leaving early access. But when done right, it is a very cool concept. And Baldur's Gate 3 did do it right. They released it in early access, I think, at least a year before the game came out. And they got feedback from people, just regular people playing the game. And they took that feedback and used it to make the game better. And as you can see, it was a wild success for them. So this is something that, again, I don't think is too sad, because I agree with everything Mr. Dowse was saying, and I want gaming to be simpler in terms of marketing. I want it to just be, hey, show me your game, tell me when it's coming out. If you showing me your game does not convince me to buy it, then there's something up with you or your game that, just isn't for me. And maybe if enough people feel the same way, you'll change it. And then those people will actually try the game. And if you refuse to change it, maybe your game ends up not succeeding.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree. And plus, I just think that Baldur's Gate 3 is helping save gaming, man. I don't know.
I would
There's
love to believe that, but a lot of, I guess you could say the old salt developers, whatever, do not like how, one, the game came out working perfectly, and two, this kind of attitude that Larian as a company are really kind of taking a stance and being like, hey, all this crap you guys are doing is bullshit. Just give the people games that work and are fun to play. And they don't like that. They the kind of big gaming, as you would say, does not like that. So it's like, I'm hopeful that it would improve things in the future, but we don't know for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, also Cam, I'll just say, stole my. I was absolutely going to talk about Take-Two's laying off of people, because it was a very, I feel like, big and annoying story, and Cam really stole it from me. Got to the document first. I couldn't do it.
That's right, guys. For the first time in my life,
For the first time in your life, what?
I got to the document first.
Cool. Anyway, that's the news. Cam, what do you think of the news?
Pretty depressing. I'd say Jaden, you're right that we should definitely try to get some happier news in the next one if we can. But overall, yeah, I tell you, it's not looking good for gaming at the moment.
Yeah, it's a very bleak picture. Anyway, well, let's change the subject here. Let's get excited. Let's talk about upcoming games that we are interested in. Cam, kick us off.
So my first one, Prison Architect 2, published by Paradox Interactive. It releases May 7th. It'll be on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X/S, and PC. Now in 3D, you design and develop your own prison.
So it's kind of like what is that? What's up?
I was gonna say I played the first Prison Architect.
You did?
Yeah, dude, it was on PlayStation. Yeah, it was actually it was even free from PlayStation Plus at one time. I remember this.
That is insane. I've never heard of Prison Architect, and you're over here like, yeah, I played it. Good game.
Yeah, I have
That's
played it. Well,
insane.
I mean, it's like a mobile game just on console,
Yeah.
But when you're younger, you played it, and
Ah.
enjoy it though. It was neat.
So
if
is it
anything,
kind of like a roller coaster tycoon kind of thing?
yeah, like well, originally it was like more like 8-bit type
Okay.
style, but it is like that. It is kind of like Roller Coaster Tycoon. I mean, it's basically like what you would picture setting. You're having a prison, you're watching it, you're making sure you're doing this, you're doing that.
Interesting.
If this happens, get guys there. Every once in a while they'd have like an inmate try to escape or whatever. But now it's going to be in 3D, which I'm not gonna lie. When looking at the models, it does look a little goof.
Looks a little goof. Looks a little
Yeah,
goof.
yeah, a little goof, dude.
What a word.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. I mean, that's interesting that we have a game series you've played that I haven't heard of even. That's crazy.
Well, there you go. I don't know
My
why. I thought it was bigger. That's my bad.
my first game, guys, one that I'm very excited about, but will not be playing anytime soon. Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, developed by Ninja Theory, releases May 21st, the long-awaited sequel to the amazing Senua's Sacrifice, Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice. Noah and I did an episode on it. It is legitimately one of my favorite games of all time. I would highly recommend Hellblade to anyone. Go out and buy it. The problem is, Ninja Theory was purchased by Microsoft several years ago. So, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 is an Xbox exclusive. I don't like it. I don't like that.
Ah,
That sucks.
yeah, that
Yeah,
does suck. So what's your
yeah.
plan there? What are you gonna do?
Kill myself? I don't know. Um, I, I mean, I legitimately don't have a plan. I have an Xbox One. If I could play it on Xbox One, I will. But if
I
it is
bet.
something that, but I mean, if it is something that you need the Series X, Series S, I'm kind of just out of luck for a while because I don't own one, and as much as I loved Hellblade, I don't think I'm gonna be what's the word? Shelling out $300 for an Xbox Series S just to play it.
Right.
But I still just had to mention it because it is cool. Again, love that game. Cam, I'm gonna make Cam play it one day. Yeah. All right, do your second game now.
I'm getting to it. Just 1 second.
Yep.
Okay, so for my second game, I did Multiverses. It is published by Player First Games. Releases May 28th. It is on everything, and it is a free-to-play crossover game of different iconic characters clashing against each other.
Owned by Warner Brothers.
Yeah. It's mainly like Warner Brothers characters, really. But it's different universes of Warner Brothers, cartoons and shows and all that.
Yep.
It kind of gives me like a Smash Bros vibe.
Well, I mean that's
Um,
absolutely what it is meant to be, I
yeah,
believe.
yeah, and it's definitely meant to be played with like a party. But it looks fun. I mean, hey, I'm not hating on it. It looks interesting.
Well, Cam,
Um,
Haley and I actually talked about this game last month. It wasn't a like game that's coming up. It was actually just a news story because this is another game that had I wouldn't call it early access. It was more akin to a beta, but it had a beta, which people played, people I worked with played, and people liked it. From what I heard, so it's cool that it's coming back. The beta went off like ended over a year ago, and Haley, I don't know if you know this, Cam, huge Super Smash Bros. Fan. So this absolutely is something that really piqued her interest. So I will more than likely end up playing it for nothing else than because Haley wants me to.
that's nice. It's free to play. So hey, why not?
Yeah, and that is cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
see, that's the thing. If your game is free to play, I'm okay with it having microtransactions or whatever because you got to make your money somehow, and I understand that. I don't think the game should. I don't think microtransactions should break the game or the game should require them because some free-to-play games really do that and it's awful. But I'm really optimistic multiverses will do it right. I think it's cool. I think it's a cool concept. I think it'll work.
Agreed.
Anyway, my second one, actually, of the three I picked, is probably the a game I'm most excited about, and that is Crow Country. Developed by SCB Games. I don't know if that stands for anything. It releases May 9th, so it's actually coming out soon, less than a week after the release of this episode. Actually, it comes out the same week as this episode. Um, you play as a girl who enters the abandoned amusement park Crow Country, searching for answers to a mystery. That's as much of the plot as I could garner. This game looks like a classic Resident Evil Silent Hill, that kind of isometric camera view. You're going around this place. It's creepy. It's haunted. There's monsters. You have to solve puzzles to kind of progress your way through the story. I mean, that's what Resident Evil and Silent Hill were/are. That's all those old games are. Even down to the graphics. I assume it's on purpose, but I mean, looks like if you watch a trailer, which I watched a trailer, it very much hooked me. I sent the trailer to Haley. I was like, "Hey, this we might have to look at this. This game looks pretty interesting." It is like it straight up looks like you could have played it on the PlayStation 1. It is a very classic looking game. Without,
That's so
yeah.
sweet. Yeah, that just sounds sweet.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm interested in playing it. I think that will be a future indie bit that we will end up doing at some point in the future will be Crow Country.
Yeah. For my third game, I picked System Shock Remake, which is published by Night Dive Studios. It releases May 21st on PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series slash or X slash S, Xbox One, and PC. It is a remake of the original 1994 System Shock. The game is set in like a space station in a cyberpunk like style. I feel like I've heard about System Shock in the past before. I didn't know too much about it, but it caught my eye for sure, especially since it was originally released in 1994. I mean, that was a really long time ago.
Cam, I'll be honest, you got me twice this episode. This is another one I absolutely was very frustrated to see you took for me as a game to talk about. System Shock 2, specifically System Shock 2, is considered one of the greatest games of all time. It is a horror game, like a horror FPS game, and is I mean, it's considered one of the greatest games of all time. Obviously, I never played it, but being as obsessed with classic games as I am, I've always wanted to. I've always wanted to play it, and finally, I'm assuming if they're remaking the first one, which I'm interested in as well. The game that started the series, System Shock. I'm very interested to play it. It also, I think, means that I would hope that they would remake System Shock 2 as well. Again, just those classic games. I'm always interested in them. When I saw this remake, I actually first heard about it. Not super up to date on things because I don't know how long it's been in the works. But I first knew about it when I opened this document to be like, okay, what did Cam pick so that I can't pick it. And I saw that and I was like, oh my god, what? Dude, that's awesome! I didn't know they were making remaking System Shock. Or like, I feel like it was something that was announced so long ago I forgot about it even. Yeah, but Cam, you really took that one from me. I'm really excited about that one. That is another one I will play. And if it is, maybe if it's good enough, I'll force you to play it and we'll talk about it on the podcast.
Sounds good. Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a
And
plan.
so, what's your third one, Jaden?
Oh, that was your third one. Crap. My third one is a game called Gift. It is developed by Toy Diem and Million Edge. Releases May 8th, so one day before Crow Country. You play as I watched a trailer for this one. You play as several characters trying to escape a sinking ship. The trailer, it looks like a more cutesy, family-friendly version of a Playdead game, or because it takes place on a ship, another game that takes place on a ship, Little Nightmares. I was getting a lot of vibes of those two games when I was watching this trailer in terms of the gameplay. Playdead games can being Limbo and Inside. I don't know if you've played either of those. Fabulous games. I would recommend them.
Not that I know of, no.
I think we own Limbo. I think I bought Inside as well. You might, so you should be able to play those. I would recommend it just if you got some free time. They're both short. You could beat both of them probably, and like individually. I mean, like each game is probably no more than like 3 hours long. And that's because some of the puzzles can be a little weird, but I think you can get through them pretty quickly. Anyway, yeah, it looks cool. I was really like was not a big fan of the of uh uh first indie bit we ever did. What was that game? I totally blanked. Little Nightmares. I was not the biggest fan of that game, but that gameplay style I do overall really enjoy. And if it does play like those games, I think you're looking at a good one here. And also, I want to give them props for naming the game Gift, which made it incredibly hard to research this game, Cam, because yeah, just a very common. Also, just you could typically, if I'm looking for a game, like say Crow Country, it's like kind of a generic-y name, and I'm like, I don't know if this will pop up if I search it. Maybe it'll pull up some weird like bird watching forum or something if I search Crow Country. So I will put Crow Country game. That does not work with Gift game because I get a lot of articles about great gifts for gamers. Gift video game, a lot of articles, great gifts for gamers. It was such a hard game to actually research because it kept pulling up different things because it's such a generic name. Yeah, and then even then, just searching Gift game, there was another Gift. It came out in 2002, so it just made
What?
it. Yeah, it made it annoying to research the title of this game. To find like I was trying to find the developers so I could list them here, and I was not having luck. Anyway, that's Gift. I think it'll be a good one. It's one I am interested to try out as well.
right?
I don't know. Do you have anything else, Cam? Cool.
I'm trying to think. Give me a second. I had a thought and then I forgot about it, but I'm gonna get it
Uh,
back. Hold on.
okay.
Yeah, just 1 second. I don't know why, man. I'm really forgetful today.
Oh, don't worry. I'm forgetful every day.
Yeah, no, I do like the sound of this game. I don't know. I mean, it sounds like it would be fun with like a group of people, family, like Jaden said, family friendly. Maybe something that me and the siblings would do. Which I always like games like that. Like I'm trying to think like other games that I've always enjoyed playing with, people would be Trivial Pursuit. Is that it, Jaden? Is that how you
Yeah,
say
that's
it?
it. That's yep.
Yeah, and then there's another one. It's like something box.
Jackbox.
Matchbox? Jackbox. Jackbox.
I'm well acquainted with the Jackbox games. Yes.
Yeah. Those are just some examples. But yeah, it sounds like a fun game. I mean, I'd like to try it, but who knows?
That's it's so weird. Gift made you think of Jackbox and Trivial Pursuit.
Well, because it's like you're playing with a group of people. Like I'm
Well, no,
comparing like
you're playing as a group of people. It's just a single player game. No,
oh
it's just you like this ship seems to crash and be sinking. And again, from the trailer, because researching this game was very hard, you were definitely playing as multiple different people, I assume, trying to escape this ship.
but it's one thing. I mean,
Yeah,
okay, I
it's
mean,
like multiple different people at different times. Like you probably play
uh,
a chapter as this guy escaping, as this guy escaping, as this guy escaping, whatever.
well, that still sounds exciting though. I still like that too. That's still
Huh.
neat.
Okay. What a fun conversation. I
It,
I guess I will say, Cam, uh just not wanting you to feel bad. I could have explained that more clearly and I did not. I will take blame for that
nah,
that
it was
mix up
my fault.
there.
No, no,
No,
it
it's
was
fine.
my
No, it was my fault. It's fine. It's fine. I will take responsibility. I could have been more clear in describing that. That's my fault. Anyway, guys, those are the upcoming games. We got, hold on, 6 potential winners coming out this month. That's cool. I'm glad. I hope, I mean, I hope all those games do well, regardless of whether or not I end up playing them or even end up liking them, people. I want I want every game that is well made to succeed and the people who make them to not be laid off and keep making more games.
I agree, and I also believe that the people that I support after they get their millions won't cancel millions and lay off hundreds because
Absolutely.
of their own free.
Absolutely. We hate Take Two. Anyway, hey guys, that's the end of the news and games for this episode. Now, it's time for the indie bit, the bit where we talk about indie games.
Yay!
Today, we are talking about Oxenfree. As I said last episode, I first heard about Oxenfree watching a video on YouTube to someone I will not credit, who was just talking about games that aren't too long, that are like, shorter games that he enjoyed, and this was one of them, Oxenfree. He didn't really get too much into the plot, but he highly recommended it, and this was a guy whose opinions I respect when it comes to games, so I thought I'd give it a shot. I actually bought this game specifically to play it and talk about it on the podcast. Very rare. Most of the games we play are the free ones, but this one I did actually go out of my way to pay for. The synopsis of Oxenfree: you play as Alex. She and her new stepbrother and her friend Ren are going to this island in their local town by the sea. That's kind of famous amongst, it's like a tourist destination, and it's famous amongst the like high schoolers for going there and drinking and partying all night. They meet some other people there. There's 5 of them total, and there's this kind of supernatural aspect to the island. If you use a radio, you can hear some crazy things on certain stations. Kids mess around and some crazy stuff happens. A lot of crazy stuff happens. So as Alex, you have to rescue your friends and uh, escape the island. Um, Gameplay, how you do that? This game is like sort of open world. I mean, it's not open world. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
you have like it's a map and there's different areas on it, but there are kind of set paths in each map. You can't just go wherever you want. But you as Alex with typically one person helping you. are going around the island trying to rescue your friends. You use your radio to connect to different frequencies to I won't say it's really puzzle solving because I feel like that's it's not involved enough for that. You're basically just turning a radio dial back and forth until you hit the right frequency. And then it's a very narrative focused game, so a lot of your stuff is talking with the characters, picking between different dialogue options, which does affect the ending. There are different endings and different outcomes based on kind of how you how you treat everybody and how the situation goes.
Right.
Cam, did you like Oxenfree?
I did. First of all, I like the style of Oxenfree. It kind of gives me like an artsy painting type of vibe.
I
I don't
I
know.
get that. I get that.
Yeah, you do. Okay, cool. It's definitely heavily story driven. Um, I like how I don't know if you know, but there's like a lot of alternate endings that you can have in the
Yes.
game.
Yes.
Um, which I always like a good game like that. It makes it interesting. Keeps you guessing. Each story connects really good as well. It is also surprisingly eerily creepy. Definitely some spine crawling moments. Sometimes you're at these places that like it just kind of it looks confusing. That's the best way to describe it. It just looks confusing, and it really throws you off. And I'd say the other thing I'd say too is they have really good music.
I agree. The music was great.
Yeah, I like the music. But yeah, overall, it was a good story. I liked it. I would recommend it. Especially if you like uh, story like games. Get it. Did you like it, Jaden?
Fun fact about this one, Cam, about this indie bit. So everybody, I don't know if you can tell by our insane energy this episode, but this is a weeknight recording. We did not wait until Saturday morning because we would have had to record earlier than normal. So instead of punching Cam in the face with a 7 a.m. start time, I said, "Hey, we have to start Saturday at 7, or if you want, we can do a weeknight." And this was, I think, last Sunday I texted you.
Yes, it
And you're
was.
like, "Hey, let's do Wednesday." And I thought, well, crap, I'm in too deep. I hadn't even started the game yet, and it's not super long, but I couldn't play it Monday. I was busy, so I didn't start the game until we're recording on Wednesday until Tuesday night, and then I played it Wednesday, and I finished it roughly 5 minutes before we started recording.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so very very fresh in my mind. It's a scary horror creepy game, like Cam said, and it has the exact same problem I have with 90% of scary horror creepy games that I play. It's great and it is interesting and it kept me interested. I thought one the performances by all the actors was very well done. I have absolutely zero complaints about the voice acting in this game. I thought it was very well done, especially for a game that is driven entirely by the narrative and by the characters. No complaints in that regard. Very well done. But like most of these games, I hated the ending. I did not like the ending. I'm gonna bleep this here, Kev, because I want to let you know specifically what I'm talking about. But as the ending shows, and that pisses me off. I hate that. I hate that so much when things do that.
Now that is true. I agree. That
Um,
now I understand why they did it though, is so you can
I mean, yes, it does play into it a bit, and also, I will say because I did look it up, if you play the game on New Game Plus, because there is a New Game Plus, and finish it again, you can kind of ultimate ending, beat the game, happy ending thing.
right.
But I hate when games do that. I don't want to have to play a game twice to get the good ending, quote unquote. And I don't like that. So that kind of, was just like a bad ending to what was a very interesting experience throughout. Oh, also, I have not done it yet, but I will. I do plan on getting the platinum trophy in Oxenfree. Let me tell you, not a great game for trophy hunters. If you start this game and you pick up a trophy guide and you follow a trophy guide to get this, because I did my first playthrough completely blind, didn't use trophies, guys, didn't do anything, just played it through because it was a narrative driven experience. I wanted to have that experience without, oh, okay, here I have to do this thing to get this trophy. The problem is to get the platinum trophy in this game, if you do that, you have to play through the game 3 times to get all the trophies. That's annoying. I know the game is only roughly 4 hours long. That's you have to play it 3 times. That's too much. If you're a game that does that, screw you. That's too much.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And then since I already did play it once, that means that I will have to have played through the game 4 times. And no game is that good that I want to do that, 4 times in a row for a platinum trophy. And if you're saying, Jaden, just space them out, and so then you just wait like however long you have to wait before you play again. I'm gonna do that, but I still think it's annoying that that's a thing I have to do. If you have to play through a game twice to get all the trophies, especially a game of this length, because maybe you just, hey, get the good ending, get the bad ending, whatever. A lot of games do that. That's fine. But 4 times is insane. I don't like it.
Yeah, I could see how that could be a pain in the A.
Yeah, I'll say that that's not fun. And again, the way the ending is, it's just like, why? I don't. Why can't you just? Why can't you just be spooky, creepy, scary horror, but then still have a like just a happy ending? Like that's what I want. And uh I don't like it. Anyway, uh anyway.
Right. So the
Oh,
next
hey
game,
Cam, that's Oxenfree. What's our next indie bit game?
yeah, the next game is gonna be Dreams.
Oh, that sounds nice and peaceful.
It does sound nice and peaceful.
What do you know about Dreams?
I really do not know much about it. When I saw it, I kind of just looked at the what do you call it? The
Cover
cover.
art? Cover art?
Yeah, thank you. The
Yeah.
cover art of it. I clicked on it. I saw like the back cover art of it, and I was like,
Uh-huh.
well, this looks interesting. I saw that
Yeah.
it could be played to more than just one person, and I was like, well, whatever. I still want to give it a try, so we'll
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, I know barely more than you do. I'm pretty sure because I can remember way back, I feel like when PlayStation, when this game was like first announced, I feel like it was in a press conference that I watched, but I can't remember for sure. But if I remember correctly, I think it's meant to be kind of like a Little Big Planet where you kind of create levels and stuff and other people can create levels. But I think it was meant to be a lot more intricate than Little Big Planet. Like it wasn't just, this basic little platforming levels. I think you could do a lot more with it. Um,
Right.
but again, I legitimately don't know. I didn't, it came out and I was like, oh yeah, okay. And I have no experience with it. I've never seen gameplay of it even or watched anyone else play it.
Yeah, I haven't either. I haven't seen anyone play it.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm really going into this pretty blind. So, but hey, we'll play it and we'll talk about it. I hope it's good.
Yeah, I agree. Me too.
Anyway, guys, that's another successful indie bit. We did it again. Go us, we're the best.
Yep, we're the bestest. Jaden, may
Yeah,
I
what's
may I
up?
do the honor of closing out today?
I will allow it.
All right. Don't forget, new episodes every other Monday. Rate and subscribe. Tell us if you like our show, or tell us if you don't and tell us why. Tell your friends and enemies about the podcast. Follow our Instagram, the Super Gamer Bros, for updates on episodes, and subscribe to Noah's YouTube channel, Noah, the Super Gamer Bro, where he uploads videos every day still.
Still
Thanks
working
for
hard.
this. Oh, wait, Jaden, you may do this part.
Oh, sure. Hey, thanks for listening, and we will see you guys next game.
Peace.